Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Mary Margaret and I'm so excited because today we are doing a very fun Q&A video. This is my dog Ranger. For those who don't know, he's a chocolate lab. He is almost 3 years old, which is so crazy, but he'll probably be in and out of the video. He's basically a Velcro dog, so he's always trying to be as close as possible. I don't normally film like sit down videos, so when I went to go hit record, I'm like, where do I set my camera up? I'm trying to get the best lighting, so we have some windows in front of me here. Hopefully the lighting doesn't change too much. I posted a Q&A question box over on my Instagram, so if you're not following me on Instagram, definitely make sure to go ahead and do that so you don't miss out on the next Q&A. That's also where I'm the most active on social media, is definitely my Instagram, and then TikTok, and then here on YouTube. I post daily, like reels, photos. I'm also posting a ton of stories. I share lots of links. I do mostly like outfit videos. Obviously we live at the beach, so lots of beach life content. I also love home decor. We own a bikini brand, so there's lots of fun content going around over on there. I'm gonna go ahead, pull up this Q&A box, and then we'll get going. We have lots of fun stuff to get into. There's also a really big variety. We have travel stuff, work things, life, all of that fun stuff. So if that's what you're interested in, then just keep on watching. This first one just says to tell us a little bit about yourself, and I feel like that's a really good one to start on, especially if this is your first video that you're finding here on my channel. My name's Mary Margaret. I know it's a long one, it's a double name. Some people just call me Mary, and then I've even had some like workout instructors just call me Margaret, and I am not one to correct you, so you can call me whatever you want, but Mary Margaret is what I go by. I am 24 years old. My birthday is in June, so summer birthday. I absolutely love having a birthday in the summer because summer is my favorite season. That is when I thrive. I love being out at the beach all day. I pretty much try and sit out in the sun every day if possible, which makes getting work done in the summer really hard. Going back a little bit more, me and my husband actually started dating in high school. I was 15, he was 17. We were high school sweethearts, although we went to different high schools. I went to an all-girls private school, and then he went to an arts high school, and then we both went to the same college. We went to SCAD in Savannah, Georgia. I got my BFA in social strategy and management, and then Noah got his in film and television, and that leads us to what we do now. Noah ended up taking a job here in Florida right out of school, and that's what led us to move here, but we always knew that we kind of wanted to end up in 30A. This is actually where we started dating in high school on spring break, so we loved it. We've been visiting here for years for vacation and spring break, and it was always like our end-all be-all goal, but we didn't think we would end up here until we were like in our 30s, later down the line, had a family and all that stuff. So being able to move here right out of college was such a fun and easy decision for us, and we've met so many amazing friends, and we don't see ourselves leaving anytime soon. Y'all know I do social media full-time here on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and then Noah does full-time freelance photo and video work, and then we also own Honey Swim, our small business, with our best friends Brinley and Lucas. So we stay pretty busy around here, but it's all fun stuff. This question kind of goes off of that. It says, are all of your friends from Florida from online? And I would say probably 90% of our friends, yes, we met through social media. When we first moved here, I met my friend McKenna because she was working for 30A, the like local brand. And so I had met her through social media. Haley, my friend, I also met through social media. She also went to SCAD with me, so that was a really fun connection. And then Brinley, same thing, all through social media. My friend Grace was through social media. So I am very, very grateful for Instagram and how easy it has made it for us to find like-minded friends, because it seriously makes living here so much better. If we didn't have the people around us that we do, I don't know if we would love it as much as we do, if that makes sense. I feel like who you surround yourself with and the people that you have in your life really make a difference and an impact on the area that you're at. So very, very grateful for all of our friends here that feel like family. Next question says, what's your favorite part about working with your best friend? I would say how like seamless and easy it is. It's really easy because me and Brinley have very similar styles. So when it comes to decision making, I feel like we're pretty much for the most part always aligned on like what we like and what we don't like. And if there is something that we disagree on, we're usually like, all right, let's just sample both, or let's post a poll or get our ambassadors involved and try and get some other eyeballs on it. Sometimes it actually can be a little bit tricky when you think so similarly, because we're like, wait, we kind of getting an outside opinion, because sometimes not everyone is going to agree what we both agree with. So it's been really fun expanding our Honey Swim team. We have 3 employees right now, and I'm sure we will be adding more to that roster in 2025. But adding those girls to our team has been the biggest blessing in so many ways. The amount of work that they put into Honey does not go unnoticed, and it's really fun having lots of other opinions to bounce ideas off of. I would say it's just easygoing working with Brindley. We both love to travel, so getting to travel for work with Honey has definitely been like our favorite part by far. We both love planning trips, and then the fact that we can mesh the two together is like the best thing. And if you didn't know, our husbands are also a really big part of Honey behind the scenes with a lot of the business aspects, and they're also best friends. So it makes our team meetings really interesting because it's very easy for us to get off track, but it's always a fun time. Lots of questions about Honey. This next one says, how many collections are coming in 2025? We actually have, I think, all of them besides the very last one pretty much finalized with samplings and shoots and all of that, which is absolutely crazy. And again, I attribute a lot of that to expanding our team. They make it really easy for us to get ahead by having so many extra hands on deck. But I think in terms of amount of collections, it's either 5 or 6. So definitely keep your eyes out because we have lots of fun stuff in store for 2025. Lots of new things like new styles, new themes of collections, just lots of things that you guys haven't seen before, and I think y'all are really, really gonna like. Okay, last one that I'll answer about Honey says, what's the hardest part about owning a small business? I would probably say this kind of goes hand in hand with working for yourself, because I feel the same issue in like my own personal work as well. But because it is like such a passion project and it's so intertwined with our everyday lives, it's really hard to shut things off and kind of like end work for the day, if that makes sense. Because we are always scrolling, even just like for fun. You get on your phone, you scroll on TikTok, you scroll on Instagram. But because our work is on those platforms, it's easy for us to just be like, oh, we need to go and respond to that comment. Oh, this person sent us a DM. Oh, go and get this order checked out. So it's kind of hard to shut things off and kind of take like a mental break at the end of the day. But I don't think that's like necessarily a bad issue to have. It just shows that you truly are invested in the work that you do. This says, would you ever consider starting a podcast? Would love to listen if you did. Believe it or not, I'm not a big podcast girly. I really only listen to podcasts when we have like a long drive. So anytime that we make the trek back to Louisiana to visit family, me and Noah will usually listen to What We Said podcast with JC Marie and Chelsea Jade. I absolutely love them. Even Noah loves their podcast. If we're like, oh, I don't know what to listen to, he's like, let's just put on What We Said. So that's definitely one of my favorites. It's also a very easy listen. They're lighthearted, they're funny, they talk about fun topics. So that one's definitely my favorite to listen to. But in terms of starting one, it's just not something that I see in my future right now. Who knows, that could change later down the line. But in doing social media for almost 4 or 5 years now, I feel like I've learned that I don't necessarily have to partake in every aspect, if that makes sense. So like, I follow a bunch of influencers who also have podcasts, they also have YouTube, they also do TikTok and all of these things. And every now and then I kind of have to like take a step back and be like, does this space make sense for me? And I feel like podcast is kind of the area where I'm like, it's not necessarily something that needs to be done. So yeah, podcast isn't really on my radar, but if you need a recommendation, What We Said, and Brindley actually has her own podcast. She talks about a bunch of health and wellness things, and it's a really good listen. So if you need a recommendation, definitely go and check hers out. This next one says, any home buying advice? I feel like my advice for this would be to save, save, save. I know it's easier said than done, but it really does add up and makes a really big difference. I recommend getting set up with savings accounts that have benefits, ones that you're going to earn interest on and your money will grow over time. It's not just sitting there kind of being wasted until you need it. There's definitely routes you can take where you're going to earn interest. You could invest in stocks and earn more money that way. I'm obviously not like a financial advisor, so I can't go too in depth on that, but definitely saving and investing are the biggest things. And then when it came to our house specifically, especially when we were like touring and looking at all of our options, it was really weird, but I talked about this in our like empty house tour when I gave a story time. But when we pulled up to this house and did the walkthrough and walked around the property, like I don't know how to describe it, but it was almost the same feeling as when you're trying on your wedding dress and it's just like a feeling, you just know it's the one. I had a very similar experience when we walked through this house. Like, I just felt very at peace here and felt like this home was meant for us, even though there was like a 6-month period in between our first time seeing this house online versus when we were able to like put in an offer and a down payment and all of that. So I feel like it all really comes down to just like perfect timing. What's meant to be, it will be. Don't stress about it. I know the house market can be so stressful because sometimes things go really fast. Sometimes a house will go off the market that you thought was meant to be the one, but whatever's meant to be will be, and definitely just trust your gut. Next question says, what are some bucket list places? Ooh, let's see. I feel like my list is always growing, but off the top of my head, I really want to go to Switzerland, Croatia, Fiji, Bali, the Maldives, however you say it. That's always been like at the top of my list, but it's very expensive and it's a very lengthy travel day to get there. But those are the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. Comment down below what y'all's bucket list travel destinations are in the comments. Next one says travel/flight must-haves. Okay, I feel like I'm that person that has like a backpack stuffed to the brim, but my thing is it's always better to be over-prepared than under-prepared when it comes to traveling, because what you have with you will make the biggest difference. It basically makes or breaks a travel day in my opinion. So I always have snacks on hand. You can bring snacks from home, which is really nice, or you could always get stuff in the airport, but I'm kind of a picky eater, and so I've learned to just like pack my own things, like apple slices, strawberries, anything that I don't think the airport will have good options for, I try and bring myself, just that I'm not disappointed once I get there if they don't have it. So I always try and bring something like that. And then of course, like staying hydrated with water. I always buy a water as soon as I get into the airport. I'm also always freezing, so I wear layers. I'll either wear leggings or sweatpants with biker shorts underneath, or I'll keep one or the other in my backpack so that if it's hot, I can change and vice versa. And then same thing for tops. I'm always wearing either like a baby tee or a tank with a sweatshirt on top, so that again, if it's hot or cold, I can take layers off, because the absolute worst is being stuck on an airplane before they take off and the AC isn't on, or once you're in flight, the AC is pumping and you're either freezing or you're sweating. Not being able to like be comfortable temperature wise is like one of my biggest nightmares. So layers is key. And then of course, having all of your stuff like charged and ready to go the night before makes a big difference. So laptops, headphones, iPhone chargers, camera batteries, all of that. I try and make sure like the day before a travel day, I lay out everything, or I make like little like check off lists in my notes app, just so that I know I'm not missing anything. This next one says, any fun trips coming up? You know what, honestly, this is like the first year where we don't have many travels lined up yet. I feel like 2024 was our year of like go, go, go. I think we did a trip every single month, which is honestly so crazy, because I feel like that was something I kind of struggled with, especially towards the end of the year, was not being able to get into a good routine here, or like once I felt like I got in a good routine, it was like, all right, time to go again. So I'm excited for 2025 to just have a little bit of a slower pace. I'm sure we'll do trips here and there as well, but 2024 was definitely our year of like insane travel and just like always on the go, whereas I think the vibe for 2025 is going to be a little bit more slower paced. In terms of travel, we are going to Dallas in February for one of Noah's childhood best friends' birthdays, so that'll be really fun to like see them and catch up. And then I think we're also planning a tropical trip for Honey in March. We're still finalizing the details, so I don't want to share too much, but I am very much looking forward to that, because I need some sunshine in my life and just like tropical water, so that will be the perfect thing for me to look forward to. Another question related to Honey, but it says, what is your favorite bikini from the new Honey launch? I am so excited. I am so excited too. I think by the time this vlog goes live, I think the collection launches tomorrow. So I will have the sign up link if you're not already signed up for early access, because you guys get first dibs on all of our new launches. Y'all get special discount codes and just like offers that we don't share on social media. So if you're not signed up for that, definitely go ahead and do so. And also keep an eye out for the launch, because it's happening on January 31st. I believe that is Friday. So keep your eyes out. But when it comes to favorites, I feel like Luxe is always a favorite. favorite. The material is just so good. It's stretchy, it's comfy, and the quality is so good. So the Luxe is definitely a favorite. I would say I lean more towards the green over the rust color. So let me know which one you guys are liking better. But then when it comes to patterns, I would have to say the stripes. Stripes are like a reoccurring theme for us with Honey. We absolutely love our stripes. We had really fun stripes in our European drop, and it's safe to say we have more fun, colorful stripe options coming this summer. This is the last Honey related question, I promise. But someone's asking what size I wear in Honey Swim. I wear size small, top and bottom, and when it comes to one pieces. We do have a size chart, and I would say when it comes to sizing references, for materials, our Luxe is the most stretchy option, and then right behind that is our Ribbed. They have a really good, just comfy fit. And then under that, our Shimmer is probably the least stretchy, and like our flat classic material is probably one up above that. So between Ribbed and Shimmer is like our classic. So if you're looking for comfort, I would lean towards Luxe and Ribbed. And if you're looking for a more snug fit, if you have a more active lifestyle, like if you're gonna be tubing or wakeboarding or playing beach volleyball, surfing, I would lean more towards our flat and Shimmer options. This question says, tips to get into vlogging for YouTube. Again, I know this is easier said than done, but you really just have to start. That comes with anything, with starting a business, starting a new job, moving, booking that flight, like any decision that is exciting but also feels scary, you really just have to dive head first into it. Obviously do your research and like you want to feel prepared, but I feel like you're never going to feel 100% ready until you are in the thick of it and doing it. That is where you're going to learn so many valuable lessons. You're just going to go up from wherever you start. So starting is definitely like the biggest step that you can take. And it's just really fun to be able to look back on old videos and memories. That's truly my favorite part of doing YouTube. All the time I go back and watch videos from like Hawaii 2 summers ago or Europe trip 2 summers ago when we were in Majorca with like our huge friend group. I love having these little like videos to go back and watch. No matter how many people it reaches views wise, the biggest thing for me is having these memories captured for me to go back and watch and eventually show my kids one day. Like that is just going to be like the biggest gem, and I'm so excited to have documented all of that. So if anything, start for that. You don't have to post them publicly. You can keep them private on your channel, but just doing it is going to teach you so much and just hold so many memories. So definitely take this as your sign to start. We've got multiple questions asking about babies, any plans to have children soon. That is definitely on me and Noah's radar. I have always wanted to be a young mom since I was little. So it's definitely something we're looking forward to. I was thinking maybe in 2024, but like I said, it was just such a busy travel year for us. So now that we're kind of going on this slower pace heading into 2025, I definitely think this will be our year. Next question says, favorite thing about 30A. I would probably say just how inspiring it is living here, which is funny because it is a small beach town, but majority of the people here have a very entrepreneur mindset and lifestyle. We know so many people who work for themselves, have startup businesses, and are very successful. So being surrounded by people who are doing similar things as you is always really motivating. It's super fun for Noah because he gets to like chat business with a lot of the guys here. And yeah, it's just fun being able to support other small businesses, especially ones that are local. And there's so many opportunities to meet people at farmers markets. We have bingo night at a bunch of different restaurants. Everyone is also just super active. Everyone's always on walks, on bikes, on runs, doing swims. So I love being around that too, because like as we're driving home from something, seeing so many people out and about always makes me be like, oh, like let's go take Ranger on a walk. Let's go head down 30A. Let's go out and do this. So it definitely motivates you to like get out of your comfort zone and spend more time outside as well. It's also very family oriented. I feel like there's so many kids here and just lots of more young people in general moving here. When me and Noah first moved here right out of college 3 years ago, so many people were like, why are y'all moving to 30A? Like it doesn't really make sense for post-grad life. Like it's mostly people who are retired or people with young families. We loved the area regardless, and I think since moving here, it's just boomed even more. I get so many DMs from girls being like, I'm moving to the area. Do you have any recommendations on like apartments, or like what areas should I look look for houses in, or I just moved to the area, can we grab coffee? So it seriously makes me so happy that 30A is expanding. They have so many apartment buildings going up, so many neighborhood builds happening, and it's just really exciting to see the changes that have already happened in the 3 short years that we've been here. So I'm excited to see what happens in like the next 5, 10, 20 years. It's only going up from here, and I think it's gonna be really good for the area. We'll do 2 more questions. This one says tips on angles, lighting, etc. for content. Again, I feel like this is something that you kind of figure out as you go. Since I've been doing content creation UGC for almost 5 years, I feel like I've definitely picked up on the angles that I like, the lighting that I like, and it's made it really easy to knock out our work. Whereas before it could have taken me like 30, 40 minutes to get a shot, whereas now no one knows the angles, he knows the routine, we get out, we shoot. It's probably less than 5 minutes at this point, which I'm very, very like grateful that we've nailed it down to a T. But yeah, it all just comes with practice. So whether that's setting up your tripod, going with a friend, having your mom, your boyfriend, someone helping you get the best angle, I think is best. I've tried the tripod route and I am not the best when it comes to tripods, but I know some people solely shoot with a tripod and their photos come out amazing. So just test out different stuff, see what works for you. Try different angles, go lower, go higher, further away, zoomed in. 3 zoom is really popular right now because it's like crisp, good details. So just play around with it when it comes to that. I also recommend looking up like different poses on Pinterest or saving photos that you see on Instagram that you really like and want to try and recreate. And then with lighting, I prefer shooting on sunny days. When it's gloomy, I'm not really feeling inspired. I feel like the photos look more dull, so I always try and shoot on a good, clear, sunny day. I either do full like direct sun, or what I found is really good is stepping right into a shady area, but right where the sun ends. So like if I was on a sidewalk, I would want to be like up against the building in the shade, but the sun is hitting that sidewalk directly in front of me. So the sun is bouncing off the sidewalk, still like illuminating me and making me look lit well, but I'm technically not in direct sun, if that makes sense. So again, just play around with it, have fun, and test out what works for you, because what works for me might not work for the next person. Everyone's unique, everyone has their own style, and it's fun to test out different ways. Last one isn't a question, but it was just a really sweet comment. She said, just wanted to say I've been here since 2K, still adore what you share. That is the absolute sweetest. It's so crazy to me that there's some of you guys who've been around for that long. So if that is also one of you watching this, just know that it absolutely makes my day. I feel so lucky and blessed that I'm able to do this as my job. It's literally my dream job. I wouldn't change it for the world, and what I do is all because of you guys. So if you made it all the way to this point in the video, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed, and definitely make sure to subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.